Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I am doing my June TBR. So this month, largely because I have a library book that'll fit this and because I'm borrowing currently one, will soon be two, books from my boss about war, I have decided to make this month's theme military history. The first two books are the ones I mentioned. So number one, Decision to Sea by Craig Simmons. This is the one I'm borrowing from my boss, and this is the 5 naval battles that shaped American history. I really enjoyed this kind of stuff about different battles that, were important, and he recommended it, so I'm going to read that one. There's another one called One Bullet Away that I'm going to borrow. Sort of a individual perspective on war. And then this one is a library book that I still need to renew, and that is Crusades, The Epic History of the Wars for the Holy Lands by Dan Jones. I said military history, which I realize that most people assume means World War II history. It doesn't. It just means, all history of wars. So I'm definitely using that broad definition, and we are going with Crusades. I love Dan Jones. I love his writing style. I think he's brilliant. And this is one of the books I don't have of his. Unfortunately, I own 3. So I will be reading this probably pretty quickly in the month so I can return it to the library. And then, otherwise, I have a whole bunch. So I recently rearranged my non-fiction section by theme, basically. So this is the end of the legal section, books about law, and then it goes into books about race. So we have various, more modern stuff, and as well as stuff of racial conflicts or events in history. So Wounded Knee is in there, the lynchings in Duluth, that kind of stuff. We've got all of those. Oh, and then down here is essentially my military history shelf. So I do have all of these double shelved. Not sure if you can see back there, but I do. Because I don't have 10 plus bookshelves to fit all of my books single shelved. Someday, but not right now. At any rate, that means that I can read anything at all on this shelf. Several of them I have already read. I've read Kangaroo Squadron, I've read Unbroken. Let's see. I've read Ghost Soldiers, I've read All the Gallant Men, I've read Devil at My Heels, I've read We Were Once Young and Dying. So, let's see, yep, that'll work. I have The Girls of the Atomic City, which I could read, Codename Madeline, which I really want to read, both of which I'm also counting because they are about World War II, they're just not about the men of World War II. And I'm okay with that. Dereliction of Duty, which is about Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken. The Rape of Europa, which is Europe's treasures in the Third Reich, which ought to be good. I've read A Woman of No Importance, excellent book. D-Day Girls, I can read. The Spy Masters, which was also a book I could potentially have read for May, which was my Abbey month. Let's see. Empress of the Seas, which is about the Siege of Malta. So, much earlier. Let's see. Pirates in the 18th century, 17th century. The War of 1812. I've got a book about the Zulus at war. The Civil War. I've got a couple books about the Civil War. I've got some books about World War I back there, including The Wolf, the mystery raider that terrorized the seas during World War I. Let's see. Paris, 1919. The Lusitania by Diana Preston. The Tsar's Last Armada. All of which are options because I have not read them yet. And now the question is, can I get these books back up here? Awesome. Band of Brothers is back here and I haven't read that one. Flyboys I read in high school. History Buff's Guide to World War II could be fun. I've read Kangaroo Soldiers, very good book. Let's see. Cool. There we go. Okay. Savage Will I might read Out of the Depths. Every Man a Hero, 5 Days in London, May 1940, which I think strictly speaking is about the smog, but it is 1940, so it does happen during World War II, and therefore I'm counting it. It might also be the Blitz, I'm unclear. And by unclear, I mean I haven't read The Flap in a while. A Higher Call, Voices of the Pacific, Goodbye Darkness, Churchill, taken from the Diaries of Lord Moran, Code Talker. That one I will probably definitely get to because it's about the Code Talkers of World War II who were the Navajo speakers because they were the only ones who spoke Navajo. I think largely they still are. I'm sure there's a couple people who speak it otherwise, but I'm fascinated in that I don't have anything else about that. At Dawn We Slept, which I think is Pearl. Miracle in Midway, Dark Sun about the hydrogen bomb. I associate that with World War II because it came from the atomic bomb, in time anyway. Let's see, Ghost Soldiers I've read, With the Old Breed, The Conquering Tide, which is the Pacific War, and The Raft. Most of the books I have about World War II are about the Pacific War just because of where I live. We tend to focus very much so on the Japan conflict as opposed to the Germany conflict. Whereas if you go to Europe, they focus more on the Germany conflict, which makes sense, right? Presence of mind. We kind of got bombed by Japan and we got real angry about it, so that's where we are. There are also some historical fiction books I have. I have The Librarian of Auschwitz over there. That's the only one that comes to mind. But largely I will most likely be focusing on my nonfiction just because I enjoy it more. There are some also like this, The Terror to the Wicked, which is in the legal section, but it has to do with the first jury trial during the American Revolution. So I could read that one as well, which would be really interesting. Or Treason, Speech During War, that could be interesting as well. Again, during the legal section. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee could be it. Northern Slave, Black Dakota, I could read. It has to do with the Dakota Wars, I believe they were called. So I mean, anything here that I can find, basically, I might read. But largely it's most likely going to be from this shelf, which I have gone over. Oh yes, I also have The Boys of 67, and I have read Blood of Brothers. Not that you can see those, but that's not the point right now. So, this shelf, basically, I'm going to read as many as I can from this shelf. I don't know how many that's going to be, but we're going to find out. So that is my June theme and some potential books. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, I might read Anna Karenina. I don't know if that one's during wartime. Some classics that are set during war. Might see if I can't read those. It's just, themes leave a whole lot more room, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this. But anyway, back to the outro. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have an idea of which of these many books that I've mentioned I should read first, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.